Hey guys, I'm out here at Bravo, over here in Tucson, Camp Conklin by Santa Rita Park. We are having our volunteer donor support appreciation barbecue. It's an event for the community to come to Bravo, Camp Conklin, to see what we're doing, what we're about, have some food, meet with the community, and meet our vets, talk with our vets. This is what it's about. It's about our vets. It's not about me. It's not about Lewis. I'm going to go through right now and show you the food that has been made thus far. I know Lewis and other people are coming down. Alan's going to be here, and we're gonna have some good times. But
what's that?
This looks...
What is it?
Amazing. This goes all day. As long as I have food, as long as I have people coming, we're going to be cooking. So we got Fred and Dominic watching some movies. For now. Say hi, guys. Hi. You know, he's working hard, ain't he, guys? All right, well. So what's up? There's... I don't know what that is.
Excuse my French.
You know, hey,
you're live.
We like to get nice and dirty down here, but that's only because we like the hard work.
There's not a crowd.
Don't judge me on my outfit, okay? All right, thank you. Have a nice day.
You guys aren't deaf, we know, but he thinks everybody's deaf, so he's loud.
Anyway,
VOP.
He loves VOP. Hey, Rob, Michelle, do you have anything to say for VOP and all of our supporters?
We rock. We love you. You rock, and we are extremely thankful for everything that you guys do for us and for our vets.
Yes, y'all are truly blessings. Thank you.
Yes.
God bless everyone, and thank you. It's because of you that made us who we are. And I just want to say God bless you all, and thank you very much. And
well, he started this, man, but yeah, he sent me out here.
Yours hands,
yes.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you a vet or?
No, I'm an advocate. I actually do grief counseling for the moms of the 22. We have a ministry, so like this camp's named after Brandon Conklin. Today happens to be his birthday. His mom, Kyle Barty, we call her Mama B. But we're building 22 camps. Every camp's going to be named after a veteran that we've lost to suicide in this country. It's 22 veteran suicides a day. But each camp will be named after one of the sons or daughters. Their families who are in our ministry can see their name live on, but then they see us out here trying to help their brothers and sisters, the other vets. And then the returning Iraq War and Afghan vets, when they come back, if they can't assimilate into our society, because everyone fights over race, religion, and politics. Those three things we eliminate from our program because it's just too divisive. So when they come, we put their skills that they used over there out here in the community for good. They'll do search and rescue, they'll do security patrols, they can do recon to help us track where the drugs are coming from. So if we have a particular lab or a particular drug dealer that targets the homeless and preys upon their addictions, we go after them. So it gives them a purpose. And then when you put our older vets with our younger vets, then it shows the younger ones that they can survive, that no matter what they're going through, their problems are not as big as the individuals that we're finding on the streets. So it's a program to combat the veteran suicide epidemic and take care of these guys that's been forgotten out here. Jim, actually, we found Jim over a year ago, and then he went AWOL, and we disappeared, and we found him again about a week ago. That's Jim. He was one of the reasons why we first started. The vets were being attacked on the streets. The first week of every month, they get a check. Most of them get a check. He gets $1,700 a month. He chooses to be out here. You know, he doesn't really want to go into a home right now, and when he wants to, he knows he can, but the gangs were targeting him. They were knocking them out of their wheelchairs. They take their phones, they take their money, and they don't call the cops. They don't really want to deal with the cops, so they're just revolving victims. So we started forming patrols, and then when we started pulling them off the streets, we decided that we were going to start building them camps to go to, and from there it just turned into a statewide search and rescue. So until we find every veteran in our state, we don't argue over race, religion, or politics. We go and get the job done just like we sent them over to get the job done. It works.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be a lot of the nursing students that are going to go into the hospitals. Would it be okay for them to like mention this if they see a vet that
they have a homeless vet that's getting ready to be discharged and doesn't have a place to go? They can contact us.
Okay.
Now, we've been open here over a year, so there's probably about 40 or 50 veterans out there that have come through this program, but they've been kicked out.
Right.
After so many chances, if they're bringing the hard illicit drugs in or doing anything illegal that threatens the camp, we have to tell them no too. That's the hardest point. But we give them so many chances, we do our best. But anybody, yeah. And they don't even have to be a veteran. If it's a family, let us know. Yeah, if they're older, if they have a disability or something and they're vulnerable on the streets, like they can't protect themselves, we'll get them, we'll take them in. As long as they are trying to do something to better themselves, even if it's just getting up every day and doing dishes at this camp, they're doing something positive, so we'll take them and we'll help them out as much as we can.
We are from the U of A nursing program, and we have been working with Pima County Health Department, and we were trying to figure out like what we wanted to come here and talk to you guys. Because when we came here, we were immediately drawn to you guys, and we wanted to kind of bring something that we thought would be helpful and not just come and show up. And then we got to meet the people from Arizona Poison and Drug Center, and we were like, this might be something helpful and useful, and hopefully we can give you guys some information that you didn't already know and use it. Okay.
But before we begin, a little disclaimer: we are not poison control experts.
No.
So we're presenting you the information that we received from them.
And this is more for your dogs. And what happens is your dogs tend to want to like lick them and play with them, and so they're getting the poison on their tongue. And usually what they say is to just rinse the dog's mouth out with water.
So the Arizona coral snake. There's actually another snake. Is it the king snake? That looks very similar, but I have a little rhyme for you to remember. Where did it go?
Red and yellow kill a fellow.
Yes.
Red on black
Yes.
runs Jack. Yeah. So that's the pattern to distinguish them from their harmless friends.
The medication identification or symptoms after taking the medication. Just no in the mouth, nothing. Just leave them. They're beautiful. Look at them, and that's it. The harm ranges from just a little itchiness to hospitalization, so just stay away from them.
Feel free to grab any brochures or any information. We have magnets too, or more stickers.
I'd like to get one of the brochures.
Yeah, come on.
Is there only one of the ones that are in the binder?
Yeah, we'll leave one for the med tent, and then if you want anything,
Don't get to, whatever.
This is Doc. He's one of our paramedics. He's one of my co-founders. He's been with me since the beginning.
One of the big things that we need is just, people to come out here and, for lack of a better word, like just kind of fellowship with people, and, you can do basic first aid, kind of thing. I mean, we've got a guy up at Alpha who just had to have part of his finger removed.
Yeah, I was explaining to him.
And he was talking to me about his stitches and and that kind of thing. And we've got another guy up there with diabetic issues. And that's just some of those things where preventative wise, doing things like making sure, hey, are you staying current on your insulin? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Because Lewis and I are back and forth between 3 bases. So we need as many volunteers at each base as we can get. you know, and having medically trained staff, you know, come in and volunteer is an absolute blessing. It takes a huge, I mean, I get phone calls at 2 a.m. from other bases. Hey, Doc, what do we do? You know, so, but yeah, anything that you can do to help, anything that we can do to help educate.
Okay. We use one social media platform,
okay,
and then we share the stories of the ones that we're allowed to share their stories with, because we want to protect their confidentiality. Absolutely. Some people don't want their name and face out there. Most of them that come through here, they're actually receptive to it because they see all these families that come in and they treat them like human beings. So we're able to tell their stories, but we cover social media with everything we do. When we do our night operations, we do live videos. When we work with law enforcement, when we go and search camps, and we go and find a new camp and we send a team in there. See, we don't take money. We can't take money. We can't take checks or any of that. This is actually a Christian ministry. What we're doing is missionary work, but there's no money involved. With no money, there's no government regulation. We don't have a permit to do any of this. But, you know, we're at over 400 people who have been taken from the streets into a better place in the past 18 months. And that's without raising money. None of us have ever been paid. We've never been paid. If we get paid, once again, in comes regulation. So it's pure charity, you know, it's no tax break, no anything.
He calls it a
self-sacrificing organization. It's one of the few SSOs in the nation that operates under the Good Samaritan law, which is protected by the First Amendment. So, I mean, we cover everything. If they need soup or water, we go to Facebook, make a post. Bravo Base needs water. All of a sudden, families that are watching,
that's how
they'll pick up.
we can find out, because Sam told me that you needed plastic utensils, and so I brought that. But so
yes, thank you for that, by the way.
But and I was thrilled to do that. I just, you know, you just like to give what somebody needs, and so when other people ask us what you guys need, we can just go on Facebook to find out. Is that where
now we can start accepting clothes for a little bit. We cleaned this out, and we took 15 truckloads to different organizations that don't sell it for profit. They donate it like us.
So anything we forward, they can't
Church
sell
on the
it
Street, Gospel Rescue Mission, the Veteran Wing for the Salvation Army, all that stuff went to. So now we have a manageable, usable stuff that we know what we have.
Law enforcement helping us. They'll come pick up blankets, hygiene packs, and then when they're going out and around and they see a homeless person, instead of stopping and, you know, giving them the rundown, what's your name, why are you doing here, here's a blanket, here's a hygiene pack, and that's how they initiate the first contact, which is important, like I said, because you need everyone in the community to work together. We don't need to be segregated. We're segregated from rich to poor, from, you know, law enforcement to regular civilian. I mean, we try to get everyone working together. And we've been very lucky. Tucson Police Department's been outstanding. They've had our back, you know, since we first started. They stood up to the mayor when they tried to evict us and said we're not enforcing. So they trespassed code enforcement from here. So they can't come out with their permits and try to, you know, the camp runs itself. We try to build them and put the homeless in charge because they know how to take care of each other better, but you have to have supervision. So that's why our volunteers and families coming in, because if they see something going on, they can let us know so we can get ahead of it. We've had some people come in and they'll use it as a place to start running drugs out of or running prostitution out of. So we have to prevent those things from happening.
And that's probably one of your biggest challenges.
Yeah. Well, the biggest challenge we have is getting people. It's people. This isn't easy. And, you know, the only reward you get, which I think is better than a paycheck, is we can go to veterans who are in their own homes now. And people we found on the corner holding a sign, "Hungry, God bless, U.S. vet." And then all of a sudden, you know, we can sit at their dinner table and have dinner with them. We can take food over to them. We take care of them from point of contact all the way up to housing. And once they're housed, we furnish their homes. You know, we take food boxes to supplement them because most of them are on fixed incomes. But it's the fact that you know you've made a direct impact in that individual's life. They're no longer out there alone. They're no longer vulnerable on the streets. They're in a safe place. And you've given them the second chance that everyone deserves. You never run out of second chances. There's no such thing as a third chance.
That vehicle over there, I've had it 7 months. I put 27,000 miles on it. running between bases. I went out to Birmingham, Alabama, and showed them how to start a program out there. You know, it's constant work. It's constant work, and that's what, you know, Lewis can vouch for this. We don't get much sleep. I don't get sleep. I think I slept 3 hours last night, and then I had to come down here, and then we got to go back. So it's, you know, it's constant work, you know, but, you know, I brought my 17-year-old son out to Alpha Base up there in Mesa, and he got to see what we do. His buddy saw my car parked out here, and he was like, "Your dad's living at a homeless camp? What's going on?" And my son was embarrassed. And then I took him out there to the base and showed him how we operate, what we do. Went out, did, you know, food box drops and you know, and clothing drops.
You guys brought a vet back. You brought an Army Ranger back too. Who's part of that when you guys brought the Army Ranger back?
You know, and all of these different, you know, areas in Phoenix that are just so badly hurting, you know, but we just can't seem to get a camp there yet, you know, but we're working on it. But when we went to go home, my son was like, "I can't believe this is what you do." And I said, "You feel that right there? You feel it right there?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "That's called pride." I'm all, "You did good work today." You know, and that's how we get paid. You know, I'm very blessed, you know, with people that donate, you know, gas cards so that I can do all this running around. You know, everything's accountable. Like, we stop for gas on the way here, receipt's sitting with the gas card. You know, that way everybody knows I'm not out there buying liquor with it or buying cigarettes with it. Like, it went into the car. You know. So, we have got some of the most amazing volunteers.
They're awesome. It's brutal. You know, I don't. But when I lay down at night, no matter what camp I'm at, I'm looking at all these people who wouldn't be here. They'd be out there, God knows where. You know, living in what type of condition or environment. You know, not having anybody. But you get them all together and they have each other. And then our families come in and they have our families. And, you know, our volunteers that work so hard. I sleep a lot better at night knowing, but we still have that on the other side. There's more out there. There's other places that we can build and provide for them.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, we got 18 more camps to build. So, but we're not done. We're going to build all 22 of them. So.
Batman,
how you doing?
Good. I'm glad to finally meet you. I've been watching you a little bit on social media.
Well, you know, it's a very active position that I have. I'm constantly running between bases. I mean, I've had this baby for, I don't know, I think 7-8 months. I put 27,000 miles on her.
27,000 miles.
Yeah.
Wow, that's more than a quarter of 1,000 or a quarter of 100.
You know, it's she's definitely served our veterans right. I get lots of attention with her. People asking questions all the time. I'm able to tell them about VOP and you know, get more donations coming in, that kind of thing. She's been the chase vehicle for multiple events, you know, with our Blue Stripe program, you know, you know, she gets requested at a lot of different events.
Okay. So she's kind of like a billboard, so to speak, yeah, but a flashier one.
Yeah, she's a rolling show car, you know, and, you know, it helps us make lots of contacts and let people know about the organization and what we're out here trying to do. And you know, I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity for me to go out and serve the community and serve my fellow veterans and, you know, raise awareness, you know, about the 22 veteran suicides every day. And I also work the veteran suicide hotline, you know, so I hear all the stories and I talk to a lot of people and, you know, and we need all the help that we can get out here.
Okay, well, it sounds like you devote a lot of your time towards veteran suicide. Is there a personal story that kind of has inspired you to spend so much time? Because I know when, people who devote themselves to such a subject, usually it has something personal to go with it. Is there something you want to share as far as that?
I have, I've lost a lot of friends, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen to other people, and I mean, I talk to a lot of veterans every day and try to keep them from giving up hope, and coming out here. That's why I tell people all the time, you come out to the base, if you got an hour, come out, sit down, chat with people, get to know them.
Just hang out.
Yeah, just hang out, It's not always about, hey, can you bring us cases of water? Or can you bring us food? Can you give us some time? That means so much to, the men and women that are out here that, may not have family anymore. We have a lot of older veterans. We have a lot of younger ones, and it's one of those things where, just giving them that hour.
Just some acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement, and just make them smile, I mean, we've got people in recovery and, that just need somebody to talk to. We've got guys and girls that have been through hell, been through war, been through, their friends dying, and they just need somebody to make them smile.
And you're not just a volunteer, but you're also a veteran yourself, right?
Yes, I am. I'm the co-founder of the organization with Lewis. It's one of those things. He's the civilian, I'm the veteran, and we work together, and we work with lots of different organizations and churches and ministries, and and we do the best that we can to reach as many people as possible.
And you seem to be doing just that, man.
We're making strides. I mean, we went from being harassed by the government to being protected by them now. And that's that was a huge stride for us when the governor stepped in and said, leave them alone.
Which governor?
Governor, who is it, Busey?
Ducey? Doug Ducey.
Yep. And, Mayor Greg Stanton up there in Phoenix has shut down Camp Charlie, and kind of chased us out, and, and then a week later turned around and said, that Phoenix has a zero homeless veteran population. Really? Because I got 83 of them right here. So it's
that's quite an accomplishment in itself. I've talked to other homeless advocates who have tried to do homeless issues up in Phoenix, and they say they just throw you in jail. I mean, they pretty much have effectively shut up homeless activism. But here you are as a homeless activist, and you've actually earned the respect. How do you think that happened?
A lot of hard work, a lot of hours.
A lot. Did you have to butt some heads?
Yeah, we've bumped heads with with different organizations, but we've got a lot of respect from law enforcement now. Instead of going out and arresting these guys for being homeless, they bring them to us and say, hey, can you help them? And we get them connected with organizations like CBI and Valley Hospital, get them into rehab, get them into housing, get them into, get them the benefits that they need, and get them transitioned off the street and into housing. I'm a paramedic, and when you're a first responder, when you're in law enforcement, firefighter, paramedic, you see people at their worst hour. You see them when they are just absolutely broken when,
and that's the majority of what you see, right?
And and when you see somebody's house burning down and you're the responding paramedic, that's really no different than what I do out here. I spend time with people and try to help them, rebuild. And we have got such an amazing
support
group, especially down here in Tucson. That, I mean, up in Phoenix now we've got MCSO and DPS helping us out. We've got our base up in Dewey, which is doing amazing. And it when Lewis and I sat down and did the annual report, we were both just blown away. I mean, we don't take a single dollar. If you tried to hand me $1 right now, I can't take it. I'll tell you to go over to Circle K and
buy a water
and get me a gas card. Go buy a bottle of water. Something like that, because we don't take $1.
And I guess I understand why that, the virtue in that, but how would you explain that to someone who just quite doesn't get the virtue and the value of not accepting money?
Basically, if we accept cash, then basically the government can step in and start regulating us. Okay.
So it's about freedom.
Yeah, and it's about being able to do what we do, how we do.
Have there been times where you've been so stressed out that you've actually had to walk away and get some time to yourself too?
Yeah. I mean, there have been times where, Lewis has had to shut down for, a couple of days, and I've had to shut down for a couple of days, and, it's like, because you're just, it's very, very rewarding work, but it's a lot of work, and
it helps to get some solitude sometimes so you can reflect and recharge.
There are times where I'll just hop in my car and play music, and just be like, everybody leave me alone for an hour, and everybody's like, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, just leave me alone, and because you just gotta get your mind recentered, because you're out here and you're dealing with, oh, well, there's a problem with this tent, or, hey, we need this, or hey, this is going on, or hey, we need to do this.
Well, you're basically dealing with a lot of the problems that law enforcement, emergency responders deal with then.
Yeah, and and there are times where, I'll be at a base and I'll be sound asleep, and it's, hey, Batman, we've got an injured vet that just came in. Right him up. So.
And that can happen any time of the day, 24 hours, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been, I've been working till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I get woken up at 2, and I don't get back to bed until like 7, and I get like 30 minutes of sleep, and then it's, hey, Batman, we need your help. Okay, I'm up. So, one of the big things, and that's what I was saying about support staff, and getting your infrastructure built first, is this is not a one-man project. It takes a lot of help. It takes a lot of volunteers, to take care of this many people, and it's one of those things that you can't do it alone. This is not like hey, let's get me and 2 other people together and go do this. It's like, no, you need like 50, 60. We need like 100, kind of thing, because it's a lot of work. And, and sometimes staff and that's why I tell people, come down for an hour, come down, chat with them, help them out. And so I can take a nap, because I'm going to be up all night, So, anytime anyone can come down and do anything, we appreciate it. Local businesses that come out here, instead of going to Home Depot to get, day laborers, come out here, pick up our vets, help them out, You know, give them a little cash in their pocket so they quit bumming cigarettes off me.
So it's not even about the people that I'm able to interview. It's all these large group of people behind the scenes that I probably can't even get a chance to interview that makes it really happen. The people behind the scenes.
It's one of those things, you know, from day to day, we have a varying number of people that will be out here. There are days where, yeah, see, here's TPD backing us up.
So we might just have an issue. Well, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna.
Oh no, they're just coming to check on us.
Okay, let me see. Get a shot. See what's going on.
In here, we've got recovering veterans that we're trying to, that we're trying to protect. Okay. You know, and we told him to get away from the camp.
Hey, Darren.
Gotcha.
And he started all kinds of crap. You know.
Where's he at now? Yeah, how's it going, man?
He's pulling an orange cart. He put his paraphernalia in his left pocket, but he knew we'd call you guys. So he went over to that big homeless camp in that park. So he probably passed his stuff off from there. But from what they're saying is he's one of the ones that they're all getting meth with. So he knows the meth connection. And then old man Mike over there with the long beard.
So what, was he fighting with you guys today or what?
No, we went over there because Fred over here, they took one of my old vets down in a tunnel last night and got him so spun out of his mind. They spent half the night trying to get him down, and you know, we don't need that. And most he does is drink, but they're pushing the meth onto these guys. So we went over there to tell them they've already been trespassed, and they had their dopes and their paraphernalia just sitting right out on the blanket. You know, they had their big tall beers, and so we called you guys because they had drugs and paraphernalia out there in the open, and they took one of my guys down into that tunnel and got him high last night.
Right. But now they're back in the main part of the park?
Yep. Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, man? How you been?
Good, good. You?
You guys remember this guy when he used to be one of the knucklehead troublemakers?
Nah, he's never knucklehead.
He went through 9 months of treatment, still sober to this day.
You gotta talk to Ashley and the bike cops about that.
Yeah.
I got an interview out of him. He said 6 years over at that park.
Yeah.
I'm Tristan.
No one thought he'd ever quit Spice.
I'm one of the co-founders.
Went in treatment. He stayed in an extra 3 months before he came over here to make sure he was okay. Now he's over here helping other people get off of that shit. So.
And then his date of birth as well.
We just got all of his warrants squashed, but apparently he doesn't appreciate it because he's still bringing drugs around our guys.
And he's the one with the green bike, orange trailer?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we'll go take a look for him in the park, and then we got another call going on right now uptown, so we may need to duck out for that in a minute. But we'll
if
come
there's
back.
anything more vital, then take care.
Well,
of it.
obviously, if they come back, call us again. And do they know they're trespassed?
Yeah, they know.
Say if someone was watching this video, they wanted to start their own VOP style camp. What would be, what kind of suggestions would you have to offer them?
Number one, don't take any money. Number two, build your support structure before you put up a tent.
Okay.
Because we tried to reopen Charlie a little too quick, and we didn't have the support staff, and we ended up with some serious problems. I mean, I got punched, Jeff got assaulted by a bunch of guys with guns, and because he was there by himself. So
that was right at the beginning, right?
No, that was like 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
So you've got to get your support staff in line first. And always remember, don't take money. You can accept gift cards because then it's accountable. Like, somebody gave me a gas card for this. If you look in my car, the receipt's right there.
And it's going for gas. There's no...
Yeah, I'm not out buying cigarettes with it. I'm not out buying liquor with it. That gas card, or that Shell gift card is going towards fuel for this vehicle, doing all the runs between different bases.
So number one rule, don't fall in the trap of accepting money.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then number two, get a support group before you put up a tent.
Absolutely.
Okay.